Well, I think China is just a temporary blip.
Okay.
And in fact, if you look back, most of us in the hospitality industry a year or so ago predicted that Chinese tourism would only start to rebound around maybe this year or even next year. Nobody expected that China would have had such an about turn in terms of its COVID lockdown. And suddenly we're all expecting Chinese tourists to come back simply because the lockdown is over. I don't think that's true at all. For my own industry, we're having not as many Chinese as before, but that's because, like everybody else, they can't get the number of flights up, the retrenched pilots, and the same sort of thing. And even now, though, we're seeing Chinese tourism coming back quite strongly. And a lot of it is not in mass group tours, which provide the numbers, but they don't come to our hotels anyway. So you have a lot more free individual travelers, FIT travelers from China. And they're the ones who can pay the higher airfares and so on. So for our hotels, we're actually quite close to what it was before. But for the industry as a whole, China has not yet rebounded. But I wouldn't worry about it. I think they are definitely going to come back.
They're coming back?
Oh, yeah,
okay,
for
so
sure.
Apart from travelers, let's talk about the property market, and that's what we talk about almost every day. We're watching that, obviously, you have a partnership with Vanka, a little bit of squeeze there. Do you see some light at the end of this tunnel, like the property market saga in China?
Yes, I think, again, I think you have to recognize that China is still a centrally controlled economy. The banking system is not going to collapse because it's Chinese banks that are lending money. It's not as if foreign banks are coming in. And because it's also state-controlled, it is easier to have a softer landing. In the past, when there were crises, and real estates always have bubbles and so on, the government went in and provided stimuluses and so on, and then the whole bubble continued to grow more and more. Now the government is trying to not have a hard landing. So that's why you see things like Country Garden, Evergrande has got bust, Central Country Garden near to going bust, yet not going bust, and they're trying to navigate a soft landing, but as other people have said, the percentage of the Chinese population that actually still lives in modern housing is not halfway near what it is in the Western world. So there's a lot of demand still, but there's been too much speculation. It'll take time to absorb all that surplus.
So you're comfortable with your exposure to China real estate story? No need to restructure or do something?
No, we're comfortable with the China real estate story because we had a number of hotels in China which we all sold prior to the property bubble. So we're not exposed to the real estate sector in China. We're very much exposed, of course, to the tourism sector. And that, I think, we're very bullish about because the Chinese government has made it very clear they don't want to have a heavy investment-led growth. They want consumption-based growth. And consumption equals tourism. And tourism, as any economist would tell you, has got the greatest sort of trickle-on effect. $1 spent on tourism goes to retail, goes to F&B, and so on. So they're really encouraging more hotels being built. And all of our customers now, not customers in terms of guests, all of our partners now are actually state-owned enterprises that have been asked by the government to build hotels.